They've set off.
Just as my calculations projected. About time I met this variable in person.
You know, every time we head to a new nation, there's always a point where it suddenly dawns on Paimon. This is it. The next chapter of our adventure has begun. This time, it was the moment she realized she just polished off the very last of her Saurus crackers. Should have stocked up better at the farewell party.
In other words, Paimon has marked the geographic coordinates from 2 minutes and 40 seconds ago as the boundary between Natlan and Notcry. This deviates somewhat from the official coordinates stored in my database.
Paimon meant more in terms of how it felt on a psychological level. Anyway, what about you, Traveler? When did it really... That actually kind of makes sense. What about you, Anefa? Come to think of it, maybe we should be asking the other way around.
In that case, probably when my sensors could no longer detect the moon's power.
The moon? You mean that one we can all see in the sky?
Negative. I was referring to... Here we are. Paimon, Traveler, we have arrived in Notcry.
Oh, what?
Paimon, Traveler, welcome to Notcry.
That must be Nasha Town up ahead! That's the place you were telling us about on the way over, right?
That is correct, Paimon. It is also the most bustling commercial hub in all of Notcry.
Oh! Sounds like the perfect place to start trying out all the local specialties! Huh? Is something up, Traveler?
Paimon. This is where our spaceship landed when Ether and I first arrived in Teyvat.
Huh? Are you sure? But how come you've never mentioned that before? Seems pretty important to Paimon.
Well, because those memories are really hazy. All I remember is Ether waking me up and us leaving the ship. But just now, setting foot on this land, I felt something. The kind of power I sensed in those moments.
Are you referring to Kuvaki?
Kuva, what now?
The locals refer to it as Kuvaki. It is a unique elemental force found only in Notcry, or rather, a pure, primordial form of elemental energy. That is correct. Another similar concept I have found in my database is the primordial sea. Legend has it that long, long ago, the moon that shines in the sky above us once rose from the land of Notcry. Modern geological surveys and meteorite studies conducted in the region have since supported this claim.
So, when you mentioned being able to detect the moon's power earlier, you were referring to Kuvaki? Wait, Traveler, you're saying we might actually find your spaceship here?
Notcry is surrounded by the ocean. In other words, it could have been anywhere along its coastline. Negative. Description still lacks sufficient detail to pinpoint.
Hey, it's okay if you can't remember everything right away. After all, let's just do what we've always done and keep searching as we explore.
I'd be more than happy to help you out as well.
Our pleasure. Anyway, just knowing that your spaceship's here in Notcry,
Like we've crossed another boundary?
Paimon couldn't have put it better herself. Well, as the best guide in the whole of Teyvat, Notcry Here we come! Wow! Nasha Town actually looks pretty big from here. Feels a bit different.
Which aspects in particular deviated from your expectations?
Well, Paimon keeps hearing people describe Nodcry as an adventurer's paradise. So,
According to legend, there was indeed an era of peace in Nodcry's past. The age of the tales of those ancient heroes are still told today. One of the most well-known is that of the Lantern Fae. This individual performed many good deeds for Nodcry. The present-day Lightkeeper's nightly lantern patrols are, in part, a tribute to their memory. But then, one day,
what happened?
there came a devastating abyssal calamity that swept across Nodcry, and for a time it was left desolate. Heartbroken by what had become of the land they had so cherished, that Fae extinguished their light, just as the abyss had extinguished all hope. Nowadays, the paradise people speak of is more of an...
And
Today, no official authority governs Nodcry. In theory, at least, it is somewhere... The Adventurers Guild is just over there, in Nasha Town's Central Plaza. And
hey, what's that building over there?
that is Aino's Blast Kuvaki energy cannon. It gets active, but according to the scan I just ran, the energy cannon appears to be malfunctioning.
The Wild Hunt? Isn't that the abyssal calamity you mentioned that's specific to Nod?
It is a phenomenon that has been occurring for several centuries now. Yet the time and location of wild hunt attacks are seemingly random. If you don't start behaving, kid, some night, the wild hunt's gonna come for you. Listen, do you hear that? That weeping in the fog? Those are the cries of a young woman being dragged away.
You're saying people actually...
I have not witnessed enough wild hunt attacks to give a statistically sound answer. But the oldest legends say that all people saw was the ghostly shadow of a woman in the mist. It wasn't until later that it became a full-blown calamity.
Oh, when you put it like that, Paimon's really gotta hand it to Aino. Not only did she repair you, but she's even built a
Absolutely. Aino is very impressed. Anyway, according to my schedule, it is time I took you over to the flag.
Oh, sure. After all, we shouldn't keep Barca waiting. Well, Paimon's not sure if he'll actually show up. You're right about that. Varka told us to meet him here in his letter, right? Let's see. Varka? Varka!
No matches. I identify.
Huh. So he isn't here after all. Oh, guess we never did actually say we'd be arriving today. Hey, why don't we go ask the owner? If what they say is true, Varka's drinking problem.
Huh? Well, well. If it isn't the ineffable Ineffa.
Hello there, Demyon.
You know each other?
Of course! Ineffa's a regular here at the flagship.
So, robots are into booze too?
Not at all. The energy conversion efficiency of alcoholic drinks is very low, and most of them are full of impurities. Still, I can affirm that your berries...
Funny that you should mention that. While you were away in Natland, Varka would come in here every day to pick up a serving of berries and fried meat for...
Aww. He must have been worried sick that she
Actually, it's 'cause Varka found out that Aino went wild after Ineffa left, gorging herself on snacks she normally couldn't get her hands on. So it was more worry that she wasn't getting a balanced diet. I think I might have just put my foot in it. Anyway, since you're back from Natland, these two must be the ones Varka mentioned.
Yep, that's us. So, from the sounds of it...
Varka? Goes without saying. After all, he's the only one around here who's ever managed to stay
Paimon can't believe he's made such a name for himself.
Right now? Must be somewhere near Anvantinyarvi.
Huh? Where's that?
It's a lake in the northern part of Nodcry. Word reached him of trouble brewing around those parts, so he took his knights to check it out.
Oh. So...
Varka knew you'd say that. So he specifically told me to make sure you stayed here and enjoyed yourself.
Well, if he's that confident, guess our only option is to accept.
Exactly. Plus, not only has he booked you into our finest room, He's paid for it in advance, too.
Whoa! That's so generous of him! We might not.
Oh, and by the way, he also asked me to serve up a portion of bear.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Traveler, Paimon, why don't you go ahead?
Sure thing. Besides, now that we've got ourselves a map, once we're.
Oh,
No worries, we should be fine.
thank you.
Oh, right. You must miss her a lot, too. Oh! Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't watching where she was going.
Please, there's no need to apologize. If anything, I'm the one who should be sorry. Clearly, I shouldn't have gotten lost in my thoughts in the middle of a hallway.
Wait a sec. Are you staying in the room next to ours?
Ah, quite the perceptive one, I see. First things first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kirill Chudamirovich Flintz, but please, just call me Flintz.
Whoa! That's an impressively long name for sure.
Ah, is that so? Names like mine ought to have been fairly common in Snezhnaya, at least in the past. Would I be correct then to assume that the two of you...
Yep, you sure would be. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
What a rare honor it is to meet such worldly travelers.
Are you here for travel too?
If only I had the time to spare. No, I'm just staying the night.
Oh, so you're here.
That's certainly one way to put it. I'm a Ratnik of Nodcry, normally stationed near the burial grounds to the north. My sole cause for being here today... Your surprise is entirely understandable. Most people cannot even begin to fathom the idea of a life surrounded. But if you've heard of the calamitous abomination that is the Wild Hunt, you'll know that in their wake they bring a host...
Oh, so it's all about fighting against...
I thank you for your concern. But in truth, I've long since grown...
Paimon sort of gets it now. But even so, she is still pretty sure she could never get used to living in a graveyard herself.
Oh, I assure you, there's Well, would you look at that? Who'd have thought we'd end up chatting this long? Must have a lot in common, huh? Forgive me, but I must excuse myself, for the time of my appointment draws near. And in terms I'm sure you'll understand, a lantern...
Oh, sure. In that case, you go right ahead. We won't keep you any longer.
Not at all. Should the opportunity present itself, you're always welcome to come visit my grave. I mean, the grave I stand watch over.
Right.
Then allow me to wish you a traditional Ratnik's farewell.
As the moon goddess shine down upon you.
Huh? What's going on over there? Wait, free food? Quick, let's grab some too.
Moonlight illuminates the path before you, travelers from afar.
Huh? How'd you know we were travelers?
Just now were a song the birds in the sky, singing of your wanderings.
The birds in the...
Forgive me. I should not have laid the words of others out as a welcome mat for our very first meeting. You too. I am Lauma, moon chanter of the Frost Moon's scions. Please, as do our followers and other passers-by, accept today's boon.
Happy to oblige. Paimon's name?
Think nothing of it. These fruits were the finest we found, delicacies gathered in the wake of the...
The finest you found? What?
The first fruit of the harvest must be placed upon the moonlight. As perhaps you have already heard, we Frost Moon's scions revere and worship the moon goddess. We believe... And now, with tides of haughty Fatui swarming into Nodcry, driven by greed, and greed alone,
Huh. Look who it is again. Those unsufferably kind-hearted Frost Moon scions. Got enough for us too?
That's right! 2 serve.
The Fatui! After what you've been doing to our sacred statues, how dare you even show your—
Wilhelmina, bestow today's boon upon our...
You hear that? No,
But, my lady,
Please, you two, accept this meal. But remember this. Kindness is the first lantern left.
Come again?
Let me finish. But should they still refuse to follow the moonlit path, then by our...
you!
Hey, look who...
Tch, whatever. Huh? Where's the meat? Who wants to eat?
ever since they came to Not Cry with all their weird equipment and built that so-called experimental
Judging from how they reacted just now, it seems the Fatui already know who you are.
Well, we have gotten in their way in pretty much every nation we visited, so we're probably at the top of their blacklist by now.
I see. Then, on behalf of the Frost Moon Scions, I thank you for the good... Because if they had gotten ahead of themselves just now, I'm sure you would have stepped in, just as the birds and beasts put it. Your arrival heralds joy to us all. Besides, for you will always be welcome at the Frost Moon Enclave. The place we call... May we meet again in the moon's gentle glow.
These are delicious! Looks like Aneva isn't done with her shopping yet, and the Adventurers Guild is still empty. Good idea! Let's see... Okay, Paimon's got our route all... This is Nuts and Nuts. This is the Speranza. One of the travel guides recommend... This is the Vesnitsi Prolage Greenhouse. And this is the Rossum Workshop. And over here, they've got a super tall observation that way's north, and that looks like something built by the Fatui? And then over there to the west, that must be the place Lauma mentioned, where the Frost Moon Scions live. So, what'd you think? Even if Aneva kinda stole her limelight earlier, this just goes to prove... Hey, come on! Would it kill you to compliment Paimon? Huh? Look! There must be someone at the Adventurers Guild now. Looks like we'll finally be able to ask about your spaceship. Oh, or was there anywhere else you wanted to stop by for? Where? Which one are you... Oh, now you mention it. Paimon... Anyway, where we go first is completely up to you. Either the Adventurers...
Please, here you go. And if you ever need anything else, don't forget to make the great Lord Sangama Bay your first
Oh dear. So it is...
Of course it's the real deal. Everything you'll find here is 110% real, meaning every one of my deals is as real as a deal can... Wait a minute. Well, if it isn't my two most valued... And with no small thanks to your munificent patronage... Come. How could you just sneak into Not Cry like this without telling your dear Lord Sangama Bay? If I'd known earlier, I would have made an absolute pulled out all the stops to ensure that your boat ride over was as comfortable as humanly possible.
Thank the Archons we didn't tell you.
Oh, come now. You know as well as anyone how impeccably and conscientiously above...
Well, regardless of whether that's true or not, the main issue here is that we had...
A clever merchant always has a backup plan. Or two, or three up their sleeves. As the saying goes, a rabbit with many burrows fears not the hunter. Since you're both here in Not Cry, would you care for some of my finest local souvenirs? Whatever you're looking for...
We literally just arrived! Do we look like we're on the hunt for tourist
My! Your high-minded tastes never cease to impress. In that case, I know just the thing. You must be on the...
What's that?
Your information, of course. Information about Not Cry. Locked securely in the otherwise impenetrable vaults of the Lord Sangama Bay's brilliant mind. I knew it! I just knew you'd appreciate the value of my wares. On the back of a...
Wow. You sure are feeling...
What do you mean by uncharacteristically? I am the most... The moment I set up shop in Nodcry, it struck me how many different factions there were. All compete. Things got even more turbulent after the Fatui pulled down 2 ancient moon's remnants. People began to catch a whiff of the coming chaos. And the more troubled the waters...
Not at all sorry to interrupt, but we're not here for Mora.
Oh, really? But surely it was the tales of an adventurer's paradise that brought you here. The chance to take your... In that case, what would you like to know about? What now? Don't you two get involved in any big business? The Frost Moon Scions? You mean the people who believe in the Moon Goddess? They're not a bad bunch. Still, things between them and the Fatui have gotten pretty tense. Oh, listen to my advice. Do not, under any circumstances, go there.
The Curatorium of Secrets?
Just a place that handles all kinds of disputes. But the owner will charge you an absolute fortune, and she has a temper to match. Nothing like your friendly neighborhood Lord.
You're not just saying that to stop your competition from undercutting you, right?
When did that little pipsqueak get so sharp? And after I gave them all that info for free just to win them over. What do you mean? Of course not. I'm only thinking about your wallet. I mean,
You're really not convincing anyone.
all right. Business is a cutthroat. But I'm not lying about that boss lady. Not only did she make it into my top 3 people not to mess with in Nodcry, she's also in my top 3 people most eager to trade in favors.
Seriously? It feels like you're just bad-mouthed.
Fine. If you don't believe me, go see for yourselves. We might both be from... But when you realize what I'm saying is true, don't say that good old...
Their own flesh and blood may fail to perceive the truth of this world, even when it is right beneath their very noses.
But Paimon must have gotten the wrong person? At second glance, you do seem...
A creator might forgive ignorance, but being mistaken for one of my own creations is beyond all pardon. Look very closely, for standing before you is none other than Marionette, 7th of the Fatui Harbingers.
A Harbinger?
Today's encounter is merely a courtesy call. A friendly warning. You interfered with my work once before, with that little robot. I let it slide. After all, it was nothing more than a distraction. But we are in Nodcry now. And as such, I strongly advise you not to stand in the Fatui's way. Otherwise...
Oh, please. You've got some nerve coming out with barely veiled threats like that. You're the...
Oh, perhaps you have misunderstood. Just because Nodcry lacks a ruler at present, that does not mean it should not be ruled. We Fatui are simply establishing a new order.
Yeah, right. We're like shady experiments, judging by your massive, creepy research facility.
I've said what I came to say. What you do next, and, being the refined young lady that I am, I shall indulge you just this once. Ad Astra Abyssosque. Welcome to Nodcry, Dominion of the Fatui.
Ugh! Paimon's so mad right now! How can anyone so... But if a Fatui Harbinger is here to greet us in person, that can only mean... We'll have to be extra careful for... Hey! The real Catherine's back!
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. How may I help? I will do everything I...
Oh, you're so much nicer to talk to, Catherine. Enough!
Hello. I was just about to start tracking your...
Did you manage to get everything
I did. What about you?
Not for now. We've seen most of it up...
Any progress with the spaceship?
No. Catherine came back just...
One possible explanation is the vast stretch of time that has elapsed.
Aw.
Understood. After all, she was the one who salvaged me. Ancient dragon technology and all.
Good point. And since you keep mentioning her, we're curious to meet this whiz-kid mechanic too.
Understood. Then I'll handle navigation as before. ETA at the Clink Clank Krumkake craft shop. 34 minutes.